Again, good afternoon for those who just came in. So I will be sharing with you on the importance of the business architecture. I think because the word, if you compare among all the domain of enterprise architecture, you compare with the information architecture, software architecture, infrastructure architecture, solution architecture. I guess business architecture is the least so-called popular because of the nature of our IT professional is that we are typically technology focused, technical focus. So when we talk about business, we feel that, oh, business is not my cup of tea, right? That could also be the reason that why we took our bachelor or master in the software engineering, including myself, right? So, study my bachelor and also my master also in software engineering, because we felt that business is not our cup of tea. But I think as we started to do a transformation, especially in the last 2 years because of the pandemic, so everything is shifted. The focus now is no longer about technical because technology is there. It's granted, it's important, but I think now it's more important to that is that how can we leverage on the technology to deliver value, to support, and also enhance and make our business competitive. So I think this is the focus on my webinar today. So hope everyone is having the same understanding and also the same expectation about what actually business architecture and how can I master the business architecture, and what sort of the thing that I need to know, right? If I claim myself as the business architect. So that will be my topic for this afternoon. So let me just, first topic is just briefly introduce ISA. Maybe some of you never heard about ISA, but I think those who have heard, I think you are quite so-called, first time you hear the word BITABOK. Last time it was used to call ITABOK, Architecture Body of Knowledge, but I think a few months back, ISA also make alignment with the digital transformation, with all the transformation that's going on. So ISA has rebranded the ITABOK to become BITABOK, right? Business Technology Architecture Body of Knowledge. So that's basically a collection of the proven skill set, how we can adapt and how we can apply so-called best practices in doing the architecture and also in delivering a technology solution for the business. So briefly, I think ISA founded in 2002 in Austin, Texas. So focusing on the enterprise architecture profession, yeah. So the word here is profession, is really for those practitioners and the professional. And of course, I think 70,000 of our members, and recently the rebranded the ITABOK to become BITABOK, as I mentioned earlier. And of course, non-profit, right? And then run by all volunteers all over the world. So almost who is who in the so-called architecture arena. Typically, because ISA run many events across city, across country, across continents. So typically, garner all the interest and also the so-called the guru level in that profession, right? So typically, I used to travel attending the ISA event, so met all the famous person that normally I can only read their book or their theory, but in the event typically can meet face to face. And of course, ISA is for every architect, right? So architect here, we are talking about business architect, information or data architect, software or application architect, infrastructure or technology architect, and solution architect. So this pretty much the high level categorization of architects, right? Of course, from there you can split into the, you want to zoom in into security architecture, into networking architecture. That one also can be so-called specialized under this group. So basically, the profession of architect is that you are not born as an architect. We actually can be trained, and also they have a collection of the body of knowledge, right? The same thing, like if you want to become the lawyer or you want to become a doctor, there is a body of knowledge that for you to learn, right? You go to medical school, you practice, and then from there you become a profession, right? The same thing with the architect. That's why the body of knowledge on the BITABOK, Business Technology Architecture Body of Knowledge, is exactly offering these so-called best practices for someone to become architects. So the collection, I think, translated into the few languages, right? So basically, they got the qualitative, quantitative. So they got the survey, they got the focus group, and it's the typical so-called non-profit organization, right? How they run the so-called the structure of the organization. And of course, ISA also developing and maintaining the BITABOK. Now it's version 3, right? Of course, they got the training, exams, and all the so-called blog. If you go visit the website, You can see so many videos, so many articles, so many interviews, right? For us to learn from those who have successfully implemented architecture. And in the context of the Betabox itself, there are 5 pillars. The first pillar basically is business technology strategy. This is where so-called opening up the concept of the importance on the business to the technology, right? Because in the past is that many businesses develop their own strategy, and IT people also develop their own strategy. But in the context of the architecture, both need to be merged, right? That business and technology need to be so-called united, need to be so-called integrated for so-called the organization to successfully transform digitally. Then, of course, the second pillar, human dynamic, the importance of the understanding different people, got different character, different behavior, politics, human politics, and etc. Quality attribute, talking here about the maintainability, security, issue of maintenance, performance. So that's also very, very important if you want to claim that we have successfully, deliver a technology solution for the business. And IT environment here, talking about, DevOps, project management, IT services, support, help desk. So that's also a very important pillar in the body of knowledge. And design skill, right? So design skill, basically, when we do modeling, sometimes we need to communicate our so-called architecture. That's why you do a design, right? You do modeling. So you can use the a tool like Archimate to do that. And of course, the specialization, as I mentioned, business, information, software, infra, and solution. So I have others webinar, right? If you're interested to find out more what information, software, infra, and solution in the YouTube as well as in the ATD website. But this webinar, I'll be focusing on the business architecture topic itself, or the domain specialization. So for architect itself to be so-called successful in their career, in their life, or in their work, right? You need to do a touch point. Touch point means engagement. You need to touch almost every divisional, every department, every business unit, every department within your organization, right? As well as with external party. External party means could be your partner ecosystem, your customer ecosystem. So architect need to get involved to know all this type of the touch point, because the focus is not only within the organization, like people look at the inside out, but should be outside in as well. So how other entities or a party look at us, right? That's why the transformation itself need to be holistic, right? You need to show that our top leadership, our customer transformation, our skill set transformation, including an employee, information transformation, operating model, and digital business itself. Because I think nowadays is that, I don't know, I mean, at least this is the positive outcome of the COVID, right? We are being forced into moving towards digital by, the speed of the digital, I think in the last 2 years is more than the last 20 years. Because of the COVID itself. But I guess now moving forward, how can we sustain, right? I mean, we are being forced to do the digital, but now is the time to do house cleaning, right? So this way, architecture are playing even more critical role, because we need to transform fast moving forward, right? With the speed of the digital, and also the expectation of our customer, our client, our partners, our even within our internal organization. They're expected to to be able to get everything instantly, right? Last time they can wait, now they can't wait anymore. They want it by today. Last 2 years ago, I can tell them next week they can wait. Now it's like they need it now, right? Especially when we do this type of the video conferencing, we can't really see face to face, right? We can only meet like this in the camera. So people expectation change. That's why we also need to transform the way we work, right? That's why the enterprise architect actually playing a critical role, right, to drive the transformation within the organization, as well as within the infra department, as well as with the external. And of course, this is something that I think some of you who have followed my webinar, you have seen this, that typically is that they come up strategy and you execute the transformation. So I would say that 95% of the organization doing it this way, right? And then they do so-called architecture inside the transformation itself. By right, I think our message is that loud and clear. You want to be successful, you want to have a long-term sustainability. You can't do just strategy, right, direct to transformation, but you need to go through some sort of architecture. Because when you get the strategy, it's typically in the PowerPoint slide, right? or in the Microsoft Word document. So we need to be able to understand the motivation of the strategy, what are the capability, what are the impact. That is actually the core of the business architecture, right? So once we understand the business architecture, then we can do the rest of the architecture like data, application, or infrastructure and solution architecture. So without the business architecture being done first, actually it's very, very difficult for us to sustain the transformation. We can do it once, but we cannot do it, if people say you can be lucky once, you cannot be lucky all the time, right? So the concept is basically about how we can understand the strategy, and strategy typically is developed by the senior management, right? In terms of their motivation, their goal, their drivers, their outcome, and how they can be cascaded down into the business, right? So business architecture actually playing in this middle ground to realize, right, to make it happen. Because you cannot just come up strategy, you pass it like just now in the previous slide, right? You pass it to the transformation team, and typically now is handled by the PMO to execute. Because there are many other things that we have to do in order for us to get it right, right? That's why the business architecture playing a critical role as the bridge, right? Between the aspiration of the senior management and how the technology can help to realize that. So with that, I think we can get the digitally connected enterprise model whereby we can do a so-called a full traceability between strategy, business, information, application, and infrastructure, right? So that we can execute the transformation project successfully. That is the aim of why we need to establish so-called practice of enterprise architecture. And now, of course, the topic here is about business architecture that are super important, that need to be done first before other architecture work can carry on. Yeah. So this is where typically behind the scene that where you merge the strategy between business and IT, so no longer separation. And of course, the digital EA itself will help to so-called analyze in terms of the doing the business architecture and how that impact to the information, application, and technology. If you see here in these pictures, business architecture is horizontal, right? So if you want to get the information architecture correct, you need to depend on the business architecture. If you want to get application architecture correct, you need to depend on the business architecture. If you want to get technology or infrastructure architecture correct, you need to refer to the business architecture. So you can see in the middle pictures here, business architecture basically is horizontal, right? Cross architecture domain. Yeah? And every architect, if you are information, application, and technology, you need to be able to master or to have the secondary role of business architect. You cannot say, sorry, Aaron, I'm a data scientist. You want to talk about business architecture, you talk to my boss. No, you can't do that, right? If you carry the title of data architect, information architect, right, you need to be able to perform the role of business architect. Because in everything you do in information, application, and technology, need to be aligned back to the business. And the middle part is where you understand the alignment between the domain of architecture and you identify the gaps based on the strategy or the vision or the driver or the motivation of what the senior management trying to do. And the gap is being executed at the bottom layer. Does that make sense? So the bottom layer basically is where you are executing all the so-called the work packages. And inside there, basically all about filling up the gaps. The gaps that need to be filled so that the transformation can be successful. Yeah. So this is basically in a nutshell about how the digital and architecture can help to realize successful digital transformation. Whereby the bottom part is still running as usual, the project management, but you get many input, valuable input and insight for you to carry out the project successfully, rather than without the number one and number two. So topic number 2 is about key strategic role of business architecture specialization. Right. So I think as mentioned that the architects, they got the 5 domains, right? So you can basically look here at the infrastructure, information, solution, software, and the business. So let me just focus on the importance of the business architecture specialization. So this is the statement, right? Business architecture is the first architecture activity undertaken. Because of what? First, it's often necessary to demonstrate the business value of the overall architecture activity. So how can we show the value if you show them in the TCP/IP, in the hosting, in the cloud? We can't. We need to when we want to show the business value, we need to talk about the business lingo. This is where the business architecture come into pictures. The second one, it provides knowledge that is a prerequisite for undertaking architecture work in other domain, right? In data, application, technology, or infrastructure. This basically the second statement carry a lot of message, right? So if someone in your department or in your organization, maybe perhaps after this webinar, right, you go attend the meeting, they said they want to implement the so-called moving to the cloud, or they want to implement AI, etc. First thing you ask, have we done the business architecture, right? If they have not, I think better stop it. Because why? Your whatever design yang technical in terms of the data, application, technology, infrastructure doesn't go anywhere, right? It will bring little value to the business because we haven't even done the business architecture. So what are we talking about? So when we do business architecture, later you will see what actually we do, right? As a business architect, we interact with the stakeholders, understand their concern, understand their driver, understand the strategy. Then from there, we can propose the right data architecture, application, technology, infrastructure. Otherwise, who advise you for the right data design, the right application design or technology infrastructure? I can tell you, it's the vendor, right? Or the most you watch their advertising, their sponsorship or their marketing message, right? But we don't really know the actual business in our organization. That's why the point number 2 are also very, very important. Number 3, it can be used to demonstrate the return on investment to the key stakeholders. Because sometimes we can't show the value. So business architecture, let them see, oh, actually, the problem statement that we are trying to address is really critical. And I can see the solution to be developed, right? So this is the role, or so-called the impact on how the business architecture can help the IT team or the architecture team to show the value of the technology. Because when you talk to the key stakeholders, you expect them to invest the money. At the end of the day, they need to sign off on the amount to be committed into this initiative. That's why the business architecture is show that value. And of course, the number 4 is that it embodies the fundamental organization of the business and show how an organization meets its business goal, right? Because when we do the so-called business architecture, right, you understand the structure of the organization and what are the processes, what are the goal and motivation for every key stakeholders. Then from there, you can see how you can best address their concern with the technology solution. Yeah. So even this is only a 4th statement, right? But it carry a lot of weight on how and also a lot of message, right? How we should move forward from here. Because without business architecture is being done first, I think it's no point to proceed with the rest of the technology or application or software architecture. Yeah, this is not about capturing the requirement. It's beyond the requirement. It's basically architecting the entire business. Then from there, we see what are the gaps required to be filled by the technology itself. So the role of business architect basically create and refine business architecture, of course, and on the business technology strategy. So you see the word business technology strategy. So you need to have some sort of mastery in the business knowledge. Otherwise, you cannot execute this. Right, that's why fortunately the BetaBob, right, the ISA BetaBob, giving you or equip you with the right necessary business skill set for you to be successful performing this role. Okay, otherwise, if without this BetaBob or the training path, you have to go enroll yourself into MBA if you are graduated degree in the computer science or information system or software engineering. No choice, right? That's why so many, if you see those IT people who move up to the next level in their corporate ladder, typically they are supplemented with the MBA courses somewhere in their career, right? That's why the architecture role actually filling up that gap, right? And we have some sort of a so-called body of knowledge to equip the IT professional like you and me to understand and perform this role correctly. And of course, business architect also is called sometimes a digital strategy in today's context, right? So you know the technology as well as business. So you cannot be just half here, half there, right? You need to be able to understand, especially the relationship between business and technology. And of course, once you perform business architect, you actually it's enterprise troubleshooter. So pretty much almost any issue that organization face can be addressed with the business architecture. Because at the end of the day is that, you know, you will narrow down into the impact like the business capability. Because business capability is something that an organization should have to survive or to excel against their competitor or to be performing well in the industry. But if your business capability weak, you will receive many complaints, you receive many issues, and etc. Okay, so business architecture actually focusing a lot on how we can improve our business capability. So this actually is the training path for someone to become the so-called business architect specialist, which is you see on the left corner there, right? So if you see here, every architect, if you are not performing a full-time business architect, if you are information architect, infrastructure, software, and solution, your secondary role must be a business architect, right? So in this path itself, the business architect required, if you see in the middle here, you can see my mouse, that it requires a prerequisite business technology strategy, because this is the knowledge where you bridge between business and technology, right? Basically, you understand about the the motivation of the key stakeholders. So when you meet up with a particular entity in the organization, the business unit, right? Typically, once you are being equipped with this type of knowledge, you need to understand what actually their business KPI. Not technology KPI, but business KPI. And you can see what are the opportunity or the issue that they currently are facing. And you can see how the technology itself can address that issue. So this is where the concept on the understanding the business technology strategy and the business architecture are playing hand in hand, right? To make the rest of information, infra, software, and solution to be successful. Otherwise, you can claim that you are following all the vendor methodology, etc. But to the business, no impact. What? Because you are not delivering a sweet spot, the what actually the business need. That's why business architecture is one of the most important architecture role that every architecture should possess, right? Regardless whether you are information, infrastructure, software, or solution, you need to master the business architecture. Okay, why business architecture is a key success factor? This is also the statement, a very strong statement. Business cannot survive without IT, and IT has no place without business. Right? So basically, it's the inter and intra dependency between business and IT, right? And that's why business architecture filling up this gap nicely. And of course, primary duty of architect is to translate business requirement into technical requirement and provide full traceability. That's why the business architect also not only able to translate the requirement, right? But we need to provide the traceability, because traceability means that if I want to make some changes, can you tell me which are the so-called requirement, function, processes, or entity that are impacted? So the business architect need to be able to answer that quickly as well. And of course, not only architect must speak the business language, but also to have in-depth understanding on the overall business vision and on overall strategy. So now is that the expectation of architects. We need to know business quite well, right? So no excuse that they said, oh, sorry, boss, I took the wrong degree. I never learned about business. But we have a so-called the program just now, the training path, right? To guide you how you can master this type of skill so that we can deliver value of the technology to the business, okay? And of course, this is also a very strong message that all EA domain must perform secondary role as business architect if you are not a full-time business architect. Yeah, no other option. You cannot say, sorry, I'm the infrastructure architect. Business, you ask my boss, you ask the other team. No. If your attitude is that way, then you don't call it yourself architects, right? You can call it you are the principal network system engineer, right? Or senior principal if you want to. So go to that hierarchy, but don't claim yourself as an architect, because when you claim yourself as an architect, you are expected, right, to master the business architecture as well. And of course, enterprise architect as a trusted advisor and leader, right, expected to navigate and manage complex business situation. Yeah. So this is the message, right? This is for those who have successfully performed the role of business architects, right? So basically, everybody is the business architect, regardless whether you are network, software, and etc. And you need to be able to navigate and understand the complex business situation and offer a solution to the problem faced by the business. So the model basically is that if you ask multiple layers, if you see the title there, motivation, strategy, and business layer is the focus of the business architecture work. Okay, so the left-hand side is the typical enterprises organization, right? Many people, process, technology, department, and not to mention bureaucratic and the politics that take place in the typical organization. So is a lot of the information are kept among the department or among a group of people. So if you do that, then it's very hard to transform. So the only thing you can transform is that we need to come up like the the digital map, right? So the digital map, like motivation and strategy, is also the so-called the turf of the business architect. Business architect basically capturing the motivation and strategy layer of the key stakeholders. And again, when you talk about business architect, every architect actually is the business architect. So no, you cannot say that, oh, I am the software architect, I'm not business architect. No, it's taken that you're software architect a full-time role, but you need to perform secondary role as the business architect, right? So you need to be able to understand about motivation, strategy, course of action, capability, driver, and etc. Then from there, we need to be able to also understand or model the business architecture. So business architecture basically about all the role, function, processes, right, including product, contract, and also all the department that are involved to carry out the so-called the tasks in the typical organization. Then after that, of course, need to be also supported by the application itself. So the application architecture that's supporting the business and also motivation, as well as the technology or infrastructure layers, and also the information layer itself, right? Information architecture that are required for the so-called process or function and services to be carried out. And the bottom part is about the implementation of project layer. So if you look at the focus here, actually the playground, I would say, for the business architect actually at the top two layers, right? Including, of course, touching the information architecture, business layer, and motivation and strategy layers. So these are typically that seldom being addressed in an organization, even though the organization is going through transformation. So typically they are focusing a lot at the bottom layer there, application, technology, and project, and some of the data, whereby actually just now in my earlier slide, that business architecture actually is the prerequisite before all the other architecture layers to be carried out successfully. So let's move on into the topic number 3 about business architecture project. So typically, what sort of the activity that you involve, right, as the business architect? So of course, first troubleshooting the business, right? So basically taken that if got any issue in the particular business, customer complaint, product is not recorded, or inventory missing, or or whatever the marketing campaign cannot carry out, etc. They call the business architect. And as mentioned earlier, everyone is business architect, right? If you call yourself as an architect, so you need to be able to troubleshoot the business. Secondly, we also need to do due diligence on the business research, right? So here could be in the context of merger and acquisition, can also be in the context of analyzing the competitor. What are our competitor doing? If you don't have the competitor, if you are from the government, then you compare with other government, right? You cannot say, hey, sorry, we are government, no competitor. Who says so? They got the ranking, what? The United Nations ranking, what? So every country got their own ranking. So you should be able to do a comparison, right? You should be able to do a business research. And the third one is business case, right? Business case basically is how you justify that this initiative. So if this initiative, we have to wait 8 months, right? Cost 20 million. How do you justify that? That's where the business architect playing this role. And business plan, right? Basically developing the roadmap. So how can we ensure that we have a roadmap plan moving forward? Then business impact analysis. Basically, we want to know that got some changes in the particular business. What are the other entities are impacted, right? Because I think you watched my video earlier that if management expect us to answer them quickly, right? They want to change the strategy. What's the impact to the organization? That's where the business architect need to be able to answer that. Also, quite quickly, you can't answer that next week. Maybe you can tell them now it's 2:30, so let's gather again at 5 o'clock. That's the typical response they expect from you. And of course, business process improvement, always. How we can identify the area of process improvement. And of course, maintenance of this business model, right? That's why you need to have the repository, digital EA repository for you to preserve, right? To evergreen this business model. So the first one, troubleshooting the business, right? So troubleshooting is the most valuable task performed by business architect in a company to have all of the information necessary to understand what is really going on, right? What is really happening. So you need to do research into the business architecture to determine the root cause and possible solution to business problem, right? So basically, we want to understand that why particular process take longer than it should be. and look at the process in terms of the business capability that interact with it and where in the organization those capability reside. So this is very, very important. You need, in order for you to be successfully doing this, you need to have the digital map that just now I showed earlier. Yeah. And of course, the next one is analyze the interfaces between organizations, right? Look at how the infra or inter-department, right? Here I'm talking about information flow within the organization, or what they call it value stream. So as a business architect, you need to be able to understand the value stream, how the information flow between a different team, infra team or inter team, and also infra or inter department. So this is an example on the value stream supported by the capability, right? So you need to know exactly that where are your capability today, right? Some are good in the green, somehow some need improvement in yellow, and some very poor, right? Very poor basically is weak. When you call weak means many complaint, right? And maybe the system also not integrated, or could be weak because of the old system that are not updated, or outdated information or process that need to be upgraded. So you can see here at a glance that typically this is what you can start when you troubleshoot the business. Look at the value stream. The next one is due diligence business research. In the typical merger and acquisition, a thorough understanding on the existing business capability, processor, and technology is critical in sorting out what to keep and what to terminate, right? Because sometimes if you don't do a stock taking, we don't do a spring cleaning. In the house called spring cleaning. So we need to be able to do spring cleaning of all our technology assets as well. That's why if you do the architecture correctly, then you can identify that actually they got many redundant or duplication on the platform, technology, or functionality that actually we can merge and combine them. So in the potential acquisition, we can look at what to keep, right? What to preserve and what to cut off. Okay. So sometimes we also looking at the comparing, right? The capability between two departments, and basically we are doing a rationalization and consolidation. So this is basically the one of the main tasks of the business architect, to make it business lean, right? So we have less duplication, and even especially how the technology supporting various department and division. The third one is business case, right? So very important for us also to develop the business case, because with the business case, then we can show the value. Remember just now one of the requirements that why business architecture is so important, the work, because it can show the ROI, right? So this is one of the so-called point number 3. So we look at the analysis of financial aspect, right? Of, for example, the potential undertaking, project, acquisition. Then we also look at the financial model of cost and benefit over time. So basically, it's when you have a chance to take a business architecture specialization, they got one module a lot on the financial. So the financial is important, but of course the financial, we are not replacing the job of accountant or financial analyst in your team, but architect need to know the numbers, because you need to make a strategic decision. How are you going to support this particular division? How you can help to turn around the so-called the financial, right? So I hope this is not a shocking news. If you are first time hearing that architects need to also understand the financial terms, right? We not only good in the TCP/IP, but we also need to good in the like net present value, ROI, all the debit, credit, and etc. Right? We need to know that. Of course, profit and loss statement as well. We need to know that. And the next one is understand the effect of an undertaking on a company performance, right? So we really need to know the context about where we are in. And of course, prioritize investment option. So the business architect actually the one that prioritize that which one is the low-hanging fruit, right? Which one is the less risk and maximum value. So this is where part of the business case development. The next one on the business plan, right? So business plan is basically important. So a business architect actually work hand in hand with the business team, right? How to complete so-called the business plan. So business plan is the complete description of a business architecture and can be used to implement a business, right? So it's really about the business. And typically the business plan is created and maintained for new venture, joint venture, subsidiary, spin-off, or new product line, or perhaps annual, right? Annual business plan. So this is where the business architect hand in hand working with the business team. The next one on the business impact analysis. So we need to know of any changes Like for instance, that if you want to change this particular component, right? Of course, it will impact the business process, and also we impact a various function and application services. Okay, so this is a very important if you have the right model. So if you don't have the right model, then you have to find out yourself to troubleshoot. And I think this is what I mean, that you need to have the speed of so-called digital in the today context, right? Speed of digital means I can give you the answer in 10 minutes or 15 minutes, right? The most half an hour. If you don't have this type of the business architecture in place, it will take you maybe a few weeks or few months. Or if your organization is very big, maybe a few years. You can't even give the answer. Because why? Nobody knows what is inside that financial processing. Right? Nobody has the pictures. But if we preserve the model, we should be able to navigate the model. Right? This is the so-called one of the key important aspects by having the right business architecture practice in place. Of course, the next one, the business process improvement, right? We look and we model the business, and we look at how the business process perform, right? What are the services it's being realized, what trigger them, and what are the information that are being accessed, right? So typically, you want to do this type of the analysis, you cannot use manual. You need to be supported by the digital EA tool to model the processes. Because today we are living in the digital world. So if you think you can deliver this with Word and Excel, good luck, right? Because not only these pictures, it can be hundreds and thousands of them. And you need to preserve and maintain the so-called the recency, right? They call it the evergreen. I needed the up-to-date one, right? You don't tell me that 2 years ago model, which is totally no more practice today. Of course, we also need to train and educate business leaders on the technique for process monitoring and improvement. Right? So typically, all these are key success factor for an architect to contribute value today. The next one is model maintenance, right? So we need to have some sort of the meta model, right? We need to know the relationship between various entities, right? Between the strategy, between the capability map, between the organization, between business function, between landscape map, between business process, and also information structure. Okay, so this is one of the example on the meta model, the relationship of the business architecture. And of course, this one is using Archimate, right? So for those of you who have a chance to embark into this role, I would suggest that you look into the Archimate, because Archimate is quite straightforward and also quite easy to understand. And of course, if there's a formal training on how you can be trained to understand all this type of modeling concept in terms of the architecture. And in fact, every boxes here, actually, you can be treated as a database table. So you can store the information, the attribute, etc., that you can turn it into a dashboard.